Welcome to the IHSA's Football Focus. I'm Sam Knox, an Assistant Executive Director and the Football Administrator at the IHSA. This is our fourth season of Football Focus. If you've seen some of our previous videos, you know our purpose is to educate coaches, players, officials, parents, the media, and fans about the rules that govern the high school game. As we begin this season, we will turn our attention to educating officials on a variety of topics: positioning, rules knowledge, judgment calls, and game management. We've found that officials learn best through a combination of written materials, photos, and videos. We will use language from the NFHS Rulebook and Casebook, the IHSA Officials Manual, along with photos and videos to improve officials' knowledge and skills. We will point out officials who do things well, and we will show photos and videos of officials who could put themselves in a better position to officiate. However, we won't ever embarrass officials, players, or teams. One of our primary goals with the IHSA Officials Manual and these videos is to teach officials about a common philosophy regarding positioning at the beginning of a play. We all know that every play ends differently based on many factors, but consistent positioning at the start of a down will help officials focus on the critical aspects of the play so they can make correct rulings. Let's start with the referee. Chapter 4 of the IHSA Officials Manual says, the referee will count the offense and verify the count with the umpire. The referee's initial position should be to the wide side of the field, 10 to 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and approximately 10 yards to the right or left of the ball, no wider than the hash marks. This diagram is not quite to scale, but it shows the referee in good position prior to the snap. His attention is on the offensive backfield, and he knows the lateral boundaries of the free blocking zone. Notice the referees in these two photos. They are in great position to officiate the play, 10 to 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and approximately 10 yards to the right or left of the ball. Officials must be in position to see the entire play. If the play progresses deep into the offensive backfield, these referees will be able to retreat from the line of scrimmage, yet still observe the players and officiate to the end of the play. As a contrast, the referee in this photo could certainly be in better position. He's outside the left tackle, which is good, but he's about 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, which is way too close. If there's a bad snap, fumble, or action deeper in the backfield, he's not in good position to officiate the entire play. This referee's initial position is deep enough, but he is directly behind the quarterback. Watch what happens when there's a bad snap. The referee is right in the middle of the action, which is exactly where he does not want to be. If he had initially lined up wider than the tackle, he would have been able to retreat from the line of scrimmage, yet still be able to observe the entire play. On this play, the referee is deep enough, but he is directly behind the running back. If he had initially lined up wider than the tackle, approximately on the red X, he would likely have been able to see that this was a backward pass. Instead, he ruled it an incomplete forward pass. In these photos, the umpires are in great position. They're approximately 7 yards from the line of scrimmage, give or take a couple yards depending on where the linebackers are located. The umpires are between the guards, so they can see the ball and the snap. They're watching for an illegal snap, illegal contact by the defense on the ball or the snapper, false starts by the offensive lineman, and they're identifying defensive linemen for purposes of blocking restrictions. These umpires need to be in better position. They need to be approximately 7 yards from the line of scrimmage and between the outside shoulders of the guards. In their current positions, they're not able to see the important action at the line of scrimmage that an umpire needs to see. In a 5-man crew, there are 2 officials on the line of scrimmage. They're commonly known as wing officials. The linesman, sometimes called the head linesman, identified here with an H, is on the sideline with the chains. The line judge, identified here with an L, is on the sideline opposite the chains. Wing officials initially start on the line of scrimmage and should be standing out of bounds. The line judge counts the defensive players and verifies his count with the back judge. Wing officials are responsible for legal offensive formations, legal shifts and resets prior to the snap, legal motion at the snap, and identifying players who are subject to blocking restrictions. These wing officials are in perfect position prior to the snap. If a linesman or line judge looks down and sees the white sideline under his feet, he knows he's in a good spot to start the play. The back judge is the final official on a 5-man crew. His initial position is approximately 20 yards from the line of scrimmage on the defensive side of the ball. He should move left or right of the center of the field to have a clear view of his keys at the snap. He also needs to provide the quarterback an unobstructed view of signaling the last 10 seconds of the play clock. The back judge is responsible for the play clock, defensive substitutions, and identifying keys at the snap. Here are 2 photos of back judges who are in excellent position to officiate the play. A back judge has primary responsibility for passes beyond 10 yards from the line of scrimmage and blocking ahead of a running play. His keys will vary depending on the strength of the offensive formation. Our number one objective with this video is to encourage officials to read and understand the IHSA Officials Manual. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the IHSA's Football Focus.